of all, thanks for having me on this platform. And secondly, I think it's a misconception to call this a controversy. There is no controversy. It's a straight-cut issue. Though I will agree with you, have you said this issue of Nigeria, or some Nigerians clutching straws, ignoring the substance of the tree. Actually, I don't see any reason why we should be allocating so much time discussing issues that are either before the courts or, in this case, decided by the courts. All of a sudden, every Nigerian is a legal expert. And nobody is ready to allow the real experts to enlighten the society about litigation or the outcome of the litigation. Nigeria is not new to this kind of problem. This is a replay of what happened under the Muhammadu Buhari administration. Almost throughout Buhari's tenure, there were issues surrounding his certificates, which I would say is very unfortunate. And to some extent, which I would say is behind this somewhat stagnation of Nigeria. You have bigger problems to attend to, but you allocate more energy debating issues that are irrelevant. I don't see former President Buhari was, before his election as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he was at different times a governor, a minister, a military head of state, without anybody asking his qualification or his competence. All of a sudden, he was elected a democratic president, and there were fireworks left, right, and center. Buhari doesn't even have a secondary school certificate. I just can't understand this, I will say, unfortunate Nigerian attitude. Now it is the same thing replaying. We have a democratically elected president whose election many people certified was very fair, very free, and acceptable across board. Before his election, he was at different times a governor and a senator. Nobody questioned his Chicago State University certificates while he was a governor. Not only a governor, a very, very, very performing governor whose record stood for him and actually worked for him to get elected as Nigerian president. I don't see it as sensible that former Vice President Atiku will go all the way, halfway across the planet, seeking to disqualify President Tinubu's eligibility or educational background just to disqualify him from the office of the president. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. But then, these are things that are either before the courts or adjudicated by the courts, and I'm in no position to say more than I have said about it. But using common sense as a tool, I would say people are only wasting their times. This will come and pass as the issue of Buhari certificates passed, that now nobody is talking about it, that he is back in his farm tendering to his cattle. It is mere political gimmicks, distraction. And this is where Nigerians keep getting it wrong. Nigeria, political period should be quite distinct from administrative periods. When a president is elected, he is no longer a property of his political party. And his constituency is no longer his political party. His constituency is Nigeria. like it or hate it, he is your president, whether you are a member of the APC, a member of the PDP, or even a non-partisan Nigerian. He is a president for all Nigerians. And as much as he have a responsibility to upload this mandate, we also have a responsibility to upload our mandates as citizens. Like I said the other time in another forum, the problem of Nigeria, though mostly blamed on bad governance and bad leaders, it is as much a problem for bad citizenship. We expect so much from our leaders without investing enough to justify our expectations on them. So I think without moving away from this attitude, we will keep moving in a perpetual cycle of lamentations and issues like this.
How do you see the chances of the president coming out victorious at the Supreme Court, considering that Atiku's forgery evidences from CSU, that is Chicago State University, are fresh in the presidential election petition?
You see, the whole idea of going to court is to get justice. And despite our disposition or political inclination, we will have to agree. At least we have to agree on this one without conflict, that the American justice system is more functional and more reliable than Nigerian justice system. And I've read the Chicago State University, and particularly making it clear that it was responsible for the typographical error that Atiku went to court to have President Tinubu disqualified. So I don't see which court on this planet Earth will disqualify a sitting president on the basis of an error owned up by a very credible institution. So honestly, I'm not losing any sleep, and I don't think President Tinubu will lose any either.
What is your hope on the possible outcome of the whole scenario as your party, the ruling party, ruling APC, prepares to cross yet another hurdle in the presidential election suit and other similar suits at most federal state levels?
Well, Nigeria will come out of it stronger, because at least it will teach people to be smarter where they put their money. This idea of always spending money to pursue imaginary cases to disqualify a president at that, I think people will get smarter. People may develop new, more reasonable methods of pursuing their ambitions. So as far as my expectations, hopes, or aspirations, I'm cool. Nobody should expect anything more than the social media noises and the debates on various electronic and print medias, who I will have to say mostly take position on the basis of their political disposition. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. What is your advice to the opposition party to accept the defeat and move our nation?
I don't need to advise them. It's their money. If they wish, they can pursue their cases from this to eternity. It's their problem. What I know, there are as much as 9 million Nigerians that voted for President Tinubu. These 9 million eligible voters that voted for Tinubu will always support Tinubu through thick and thin. I'm sure Tinubu's doors are always open for those willing to participate in the big project of moving Nigeria forward, and his administration will not be distracted by those Nigerians who are willing to cash in where they didn't invest.
And many Nigerians suspect or think that President Tinubu might use his seat as a sitting president to influence the judgment of the Supreme Court?
Well, saying many Nigerians is unscientific without any scientific data to prove that assumption. I don't think it will give any. It will make any sense for one to start debating about what the president may do or may not do eventually. What I'm sure is APC is competent, President Tinubu is competent, and the 9 million plus voters that voted for him are mostly competent, at least given the reactions on various physical and virtual platforms that I'm involved with. At least I can say that on that basis. So, like I said, it's a free world and Nigeria is a democracy. Everybody is free to explain his wishes, but it's still that games of number. Go get the numbers and sack Tinubu when next Tinubu is contesting. For now, it's done deal. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.